Hey people, it's the 5th of July. We survived the 4th. I don't know about for you, but here in Omaha, it was madness last night. And it rained and it barely put a dent in anything. People were nuts. And I just don't understand. Well, I do understand. I do understand how people can be so selfish and non-aware of the world around them. You know, blowing up those bombs, those really house-shaking bombs. You know, you're supposed to stop at 11, and they were still going strong at midnight. And then to start up again at 2:30 in the morning. I don't understand. It's not to be understood. We survived. And sure enough, it's been pretty quiet with my hillbilly neighbors. Yes, I love them, but they are hillbilly. They just let their asses hang out in the street, literally. You know, and so yesterday, sure enough, we had the cops called. It'd been a while. And it's the lady. It's because they drink. I don't know what the other dynamic is, but they dragged her off in handcuffs, you know. I don't know why they dragged her off, you know. She was loud for a while, but I don't know who smashed the windows. Probably her. It seems like that sort of behavior just repeats itself. Anyway, hope your day was okay. Mine was fine, but it's like the fireworks are stress inducing. I don't enjoy them anymore. Couple things. I don't mean to be a sourpuss, but really, just, you know, if you have to say something, you know, drop a comment here or an email. But Messenger, for some reason, Messenger bothers me. The main reason I use Messenger is for communication between me and the band, RAF, and other business transactions. I just have to say it because I know that you're watching. I won't say your name. But for some reason, when people message me there, it bugs me. It's like, leave me alone. Don't take it personally, please. Just try to understand my boundary, okay? So, cheers again. I got bleary eyes because I didn't get much sleep last night thanks to the fireworks. But I thought, okay, so did I follow through RAF today? Did I follow through and put that section of my records in order? No, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because I enjoyed yesterday so much. It's like crate digging in my own house. I said, let me do it again and see how it goes today. I just grabbed some. I didn't, look at them. But before that, I'll show some music got played yesterday and some music got shown yesterday because I like to interact in the just like that in the online on Facebook and Instagram. I like to post pictures. I'm not there to do a whole lot of talking. I just like to show what I'm listening to, and I'd like to see what other people are listening to. And every now and then I'll converse, but mostly I just want to just geek out on the records. Hadn't played this in ages. Zamla, Mammaz, Manna. Familjesprickor is the name of the album. Fantastic, progressive. This is one of the top progressive bands and albums. This one is probably their best album. Rock in Opposition, Henry Cow to Frank Zappa all come to mind. And the playing is skillful. There's a sense of humor here. And it's very creative. This is a wonderful album. I've got 3 of their albums. This is my favorite. I was in the teas, and this popped up, and I said, let's play it. This is one of those Exploito albums from the late 60s, when psychedelia and, youth culture was all the rage for marketing. And this is not a band, the Three-Ring Circus, Groovin on the Sunshine. This is a studio creation by two older gentlemen who have had a lot of experience in television and stuff. So this is really easy listening. There's really no rock music on here at all. But taken for what it is, this is really good. Real good. Really enjoyed it. It's like, wow. Like I said, had to put it in context. It's a fantastic album from the 60s. Mr. Flood's Party. I don't know anything about the band. I get the impression that nothing else happened with the band after this album was after this happened. King Crimson comes to mind. This is fantastic progressive rock. East Coast band, Mr. Flood's Party. I've had it for ages, and I've noticed over the years it started to pick up. People have been discovering the album. Mo Foster, the bass player who passed away. I was thinking about him, and I know he played on a lot of records, so I pulled this, Climb It Up 100 by Scott Walker. His bass playing is really important on this album. It's similar to the Mick Karn fretless sort of sound. This is a great album. Yeah, that picture, I made the joke online that this is Gary Shandling's best album. Yeah, it kind of looks like Gary Shandling in that picture. Another Mo Foster album, Affinity. This is not the Vertigo, but the Paramount US. This is a great album. And Mo's bass playing, he is my kind of bass player. He holds it down. He can do other things. And so he sneaks in there with expression as needed, but not overdone. This was really good. This is really good. The Paco de Lucia album like that I discovered in my own stacks. That was a wonderful listen. Complete contrast, something brought this up, but I found myself listening to almost all of this. I love the band Meshuggah. And this album, The Violent Sleep of Reason. Man, they don't disappoint. This is excellent. It's as much progressive as it is heavy. I love it. Okay, so that's the latest that got. Well, one more. Amon Duul. Primitive but fantastic. This is a reissue. Paradies, Warts. It's fantastic. Okay, so I grabbed a small pile from the other room. Let's see what I got. Michael Dawson, if you see this, I wasn't all that surprised to hear that you had pretty much all those records I was showing, because your collection is very interesting. I do tend to, when you make videos, I tend to watch them. So, more in the None Such Explorers, or just more on the None Such label. Like I said, whenever I come across these, I buy them. Charles Wuorinen, Chamber Concerto for Cello and 10 Players. I was also impressed that Michael remembers and could talk about some of those records, because it had been a while. Here's one. I can't remember what this sounds like. Divine Horsemen, the Voodoo Gods of Haiti. This is some original ethnic music from Haiti. I can't remember the last time I played that. Some classical. Respighi, Pina di Roma. Rossini La Boutique Fantastique, the Czech Philharmonic Orchestra. Respighi, I can't speak to his style. I know I like it. These aren't random. I have them because I like them. Computer music, J.K. Randall, Barry Burko, Charles Dodge. There's Charles Dodge. So, it looks that like I do need to do some more sorting because I'm coming across another soundtrack mixed in with the classical and stuff. Black Orpheus. Is this Nino Rota? No. Even better. Antonio Carlos Jobim and Luis Bonfa. I knew this was notable. Seen the movie too. It's been a long time. I can't remember to tell you. I used to get into movies. These days it's really hard to sit through a movie because everything is the same to me. It's just everything is so predictable. Love this album. Boulez conducts Bartok. This is another one that goes way back for me. This I can hear in my head. I know this one, Concerto for Orchestra by Bartok. I love him. Got to meet Pierre Boulez and have a selfie taken with him. I've told the story in the past. Went to Chicago for his 80th birthday celebration performance with the symphony there. And he did a meet and greet afterwards, and I did what I do with rock stars. I said, hey, can we take a picture? Nobody else had the balls to do it. He dug it. It was a nice moment. This is something cool I need to play and remind myself of what it is. Ondine, conducted by Tadashi Mori. And another one of those records that's just got a really cool cover. Stuff to rediscover. Here's one where the cover, it was like, that's why I bought it. African Sanctus by David Fanshaw. And this is one of those things back in where it was back in the day where I know what I'll do. I'll go to Africa and do something really cool. But really what's cool is to shine a light on this culture. Can't remember what this sounds like. I thought my initial impression was that it was a mixed bag. It was like so-so. It was like nice idea. I don't know about the music. And I got to listen to that. More guitar. Masayuki Hirayama. Hirayama. Classical guitar recital. When I was in Japan, I was taken to a classical guitar recital. I have the CD. I can't recall the guy's name. It's not this guy. But while I was there, a famous Japanese opera singer was in the audience, and it was like the Beatles were there for the rest of the people there, and being the only black person there and a special guest of these Japanese people, I was there. You know, they made a big deal of these people, the guitarist and this star, meeting me. That was fun. More Julian Bream. I told you. Julian and Bream, Peter Pears, Lute Songs. This is great. Some of these are going to get played today. Like I said, Andre Segovia, Castillos de España. I love Mr. Segovia. More, the New World Records label, when I come across these used, I grab them. There's even some that are like real, like traditional sounding, like marches and stuff. I think I bought those too. But this one, small jazz groups of the 50s and early 60s, Nika's Dream. But see, the deal about this is because it's the Rockefellers, it's the top of the line of everything. So who's on here? The Modern Jazz Quartet, Lee Konitz with Warren Marsh, the Jazz Messengers, Art Farmer with Benny Golson, Sonny Rollins, George Russell, Charles Mingus Jazz Workshop. The cream of the crop, because they had the money. Here's another soundtrack. I love Ennio Morricone. Una Vita Venduta. And most of these movies I'm not interested in. It's the music. Dances of Ancient Pola by Wanda Landowska. This is good stuff. I can't, again, I can't describe it. It's been long, but it's like, I keep these records. I've had a lot of classical records, and I've dumped a bunch. When the Hi-Fi House was trying to get going, I donated a bunch of classical music there. Unfortunately, the Hi-Fi House didn't happen. It's closed. Segovia, I wasn't kidding you. My favorite Spanish encores. This man could play. I've watched a few documentaries about him, and I loved hearing him talk about what he did. He wasn't pretentious, but he was to the point, and it's like, I didn't get where I'm at sitting around doing nothing. I practiced my ass off. Here's another Charles Wuorinen, Times Encomium. Bet you have these, don't you, Michael? Then I heard from another person that said they have all these. They may have all of the None Such Explorer series. I wouldn't mind having them all. Here's another one of those labels that when I can get them, I get them. The Composers Recordings Incorporated, CRI. I grab these when I can. So as you see here, these are several pieces by several composers. The Imperial Philharmonic of Tokyo, William Strickland conducting. This stuff is almost always, at the very least, interesting. Here's one of my childhood favorites, Nights in the Gardens of Spain, Manuel de Falla. And this is an upgrade, even though it's a library used, but my copy that was given to me by the friend's mom who gave me that other Segovia. She gave me my first copy of this. I fell in love with this album. I can hear this in my head right now. This is like watching an old favorite movie. Nights in the Gardens of Spain. And then Rodrigo's Concerto for Guitar and Orchestra is fantastic too. But particularly Nights in the Gardens of Spain. That's a personal favorite. Oh, I just love it. And then here, again, you all know about this. Stravinsky's Le Sacre du Printemps, Rite of Spring. This version is really good. There's several good ones. Leonard Bernstein has a good version too. That's the one I first heard. This is with Bernard Haitink and London Philharmonic. Charlie Parker, he's not the only jazzer who was inspired by Stravinsky. And I understand that Stravinsky went to a Charlie Parker show, maybe more than one. This blew my mind as a child. My older brother got a copy, borrowed, library. Checked it out from the library. Blew our minds. We were already listening to classical music because of our parents, and so my older brother was exploring, and it was scary, but compelling. It's like, wow, what are they doing? Fantastic. So there's some more music for you. I might not forgotten to mention it, but as I said, I'm getting ready for a show at the end of the month, a noise show, and I'm not going to use my laptop like I did my last time. I'm going to use this setup with a CD player and a effects unit, a cheap one called a Tweakalizer. And I've been messing around with it and coming up with stuff. And I put some of my first sketches of using this setup on my Bandcamp page. It's called DHX Noiseworks. I just put it up. It's a free download. Thank you for buying it. Some folks are buying it, but it's free. All you have to do is enter 0 for the amount that you want to pay. I enjoy stuff like this. I've been doing it for a long time. And as well as regular music, I like sound And I've been playing with sound for years, and so this is the latest thing I'm doing, and it's a new release on my Bandcamp page. Go ahead and give it a listen. Hope everyone is doing okay. It's just dismaying how the mass shootings and gun violence in this country is not abating at all. And it's even more frustrating that it's really obvious that the politicians have no intention of doing anything because their bottom line is their constituents and the economic concerns. And so we will continue to die and kill each other. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. We as individuals need to do our part in trying to raise the bar and raise the energy level. So let's be decent people. Let's at least us be decent, okay? It's the least we can do. All right. Talk to me. See ya.